श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। गुरुब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरो गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषये पौरोगणां निधे सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। क्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्ते। व्यासम् अष्टनप्तारं शक्ते पौत्रमकल्मषं पराशरात्मजमन्देह जगदादं तपोनिधिं व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मणते भासिष्ठा नमो नमः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. So we're looking at Sanjay's narration of the discussion that took place in Upaplavya, and he was explaining, and he explains the strength of Pandavas who was there and all those people that's there, and he explains how Pandavas, Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, Sahadeva, along with all the Panchalas, Virata, Matsyas, everybody else assembled there. He was explaining that, and at that time Bhishma says that previously what he heard through Narada about Nara and Narayana, Rishi Nara and Narayana, who agreed with to Indra, that blessed to Indra that they will uh, destroy they will help him in restoring the dharma and destroying the asuras, defeating the asuras, daityas. And Bhishma says that Arjuna is the one, he is Nara, he is the one who helped destroy Hiranyapura and Nivatakavachas and things like that. And Krishna himself is Narayana, and that Nara is Arjuna. So these two are born from Paramatma for that mission, and that's why they are here. And I have heard this, and with when Arjuna is protected by Krishna, there is nobody can do anything to him, and these gurus are in danger of falling in that slaughter from Arjuna's arrows. But Arjuna, Duryodhana never listens to me. He always listens to the words of uh, he always listens to the words of uh, Karna, Dushasana, and Shakuni. So with that, Karna becomes angry. He says that I never done anything wrong to you, but you still keep blaming me for all the things. Only thing I can tell is when I face Arjuna and Pandavas, I will destroy everyone. I will kill everybody, and that's my promise, and that's what I'm going to do. I don't need any of you. And Bhishma, listening to that, he starts laughing and he says that this one always talks highly of himself and always says that I will kill Pandavas, but he is not even equal to 1/16th of Pandavas. So he keeps talking about this, but he's not at all equal to any way to Pandavas to beat them. And this one, along with uh, uh, Duryodhana, he keeps talking about those things, but when uh, when Virata war, when Arjuna alone came and faced where was this Karna, who ran away from that when his brother was killed at that time. Where was he? Where was he when uh, Gandharvas captured uh, Duryodhana? And at that time, Bhima and Arjuna came to the rescue along with the twins. Where was he at that time? So he gives the examples of all these things, and at that time, he says that this Karna just always speaks about these things, but he's not at all match to Pandavas. And then at that time, having listened to this, Drona also says that whatever Bhishma has said, I agree with those things, and peace with Pandavas is something good. We should not go to war with Pandavas, and there is nobody who can be equal to Pandavas in this world. Nobody can defeat them. So while Drona was saying that, uh, Dhritarastra again asked Sanjaya about Pandavas. So they Bhishma and Drona were trying to convince him that don't think about the war, but Dhritarashtra again starts to learn more about Pandavas. So at that time, all of them, Bhishma, Drona, everybody, Kripacharya, everybody, they lost any hope of surviving, any hope of avoiding this war. They lost all the hope. So Dhritarashtra asks Sanjaya, so what did Yudhishthira was doing? What is everybody in that force or assembled there? Was everybody provoking him? What was he doing? And because he is virtuous, he is very controlled. His actions are very need to be careful looked at. What was he doing? And at that time, Sanjay responds saying that all the Pandavas, along with uh, uh, all the Panchalas, along with the Pandavas, were looking up to Yudhishthira's face, and he was also restraining all of them. But all the Pandavas, all the chariots belonging to Pandavas, Panchalas, everybody were making Yudhishthira happy. All the Brahmana, Kshatriya, girls, everybody coming there and for his own visiting him and to see him. Similar Panchalas, Kekas, Matsyas, everybody were attending there. All the people coming there to see him and they were making him happy. And Dhritarashtra says that tell us about the forces of Dhishtadyumna, also the of Somakas and others that have been assembled there. Tell all those things. And when Sanjaya starts remembering all the force that he saw, the army that he saw at Mandavas, he faints. And Vidura then tells Dhritarashtra that Sanjaya has fainted, and then they try to revive him with pouring water on his face and sprinkling water on his face. Then Sanjaya wakes up and then becomes conscious, and then he says that yes, thinking about that for uh, the army, there's a great anxiety, and that's why it has happened. And he starts describing that Drishtadyumna has will fight against you in that war, and he never gives up on his truth. He's even through anger or fear or temptation or for wealth or any other reasons, he never gives up his virtue. Uh, he's the he's but he also have never made an enemy, and such Drishtadyumna will fight against you. And then Sanjay also explains him that Bhima will fight, supported Bhima, who is the one who defeated king of people of Kashi, Anga, Magadha, all these. He will fight against you. He, and that Bhima who rescued Pandavas from that house of lack in Varanavrat, that Bhima, and also who rescued from Hidimba, that Bhima will fight against you. And Bhima who Draupadi sought help from when the Yudhratha carried her, that Bhima will fight against you. And then he talks about Bhima's achievement, killing all the defeating the Krodavasas when he went to Gandhamadana to get that flower for Draupadi, that Bhima will fight against him. And then he talks about Arjuna. He says that the one who gratified Agni with Krishna, and even Indra himself could not defeat him, and who pleased Uma and Mahadeva, that Arjuna, that Vijaya will fight against you. He will have to encounter him. And similarly, Nakula, who defeated all the Western Front as when Yudhishthira did Rajasuya sacrifice, he will fight against you. Similarly, Sahadeva, who defeated Kashi, Anga, Kalinga, all these people, and who is equivalent to there are only 4 men who are equal to him: Ashwatthama, Drishtaketu, Rukmi, and Pradyumna. He is like them, and such an Sahadeva will fight against him. And then he talks about the daughter of Drupada, who through severe austerities for the destruction of Bhishma, she took birth as daughter of Drupada and accidentally afterwards became a male. And he understands the merits and demerits of both male and female sexes. That prince of Panchala uh, will fight against Shikandi. He will fight against you, and who has through an Yaksha's blessing, he is here for Bhishma's destruction, and Shikandin will fight. And similarly, he talks about 5K princes who's there, and then Satyaki who will fight, and also King Virata uh, of Matsya and the king of Kashi and the Drupada's sons, and then Abhimanyu, Draupadi's sons, Shishupala, son of Shishupala, Drishtaketu, who is son of Shishupala called Drishtaketu, and then also king of Chedi, Chedi's king Drishtaketu will come and fight, and then you have Vasudeva himself, Krishna himself will fight against him. And then he talks about Sharaba, the brother of Drishtaketu, and also Karakarsha, uh, and son of Jarasandha called Jaya Sahadeva, with Jayasena, they will fight against. And also, you will have to fight against Drupada. Even though old in his age, he's still very strong, and there is no one matching him in the battlefield. So, hearing all this, Dhritarashtra becomes worried. Then he says that among all these names you mentioned, my worry is with Bhima. And my fear is always with Bhima because he's always angry and he's very strong and he's very like it's like a tiger uh, in a deer park. He's like that. And when I pass sleepless nights because of him, hearing that Bhima sigh and deep breaths, and because of that, I fear. And he's always angry and determined in his animosity towards my sons, and he's mad with rage, and he looks with his corner of his eyes and looking at us with his eyebrows raised, with long arms holding that mace Prakodara. That Bhima is very dangerous. Even he's like Yama himself when he comes to the battle, and there is nobody that's equal to him. And that Bhima coming at the front of the troops and destroying all my children, that's what I see. Even when he was a child, he used to uh, uh, overpower all my children, and now he is no difference. And he, with all the things that happened to him, there is nobody that can stop him. Uh, he is equal to Drona or Arjuna in all the weapons. In speed, he is equal to Vayu himself, wind himself, and in anger, he is like Maheshwara himself, Shiva himself. And who can defeat that Bhima? So whenever I think about my sons, I think of Bhima, and Bhima always, I feel like he's going to kill all my sons, and he's cruel and extremely angry. He would break but not bend. So Bhima, if you ask him to something, he fights and he's ready to break himself, but he will never bend for something. So such a Bhima we have to face. I'm always worried about this Bhima. But my son, uh, how Duryodhana is going to face him when Bhima comes with this mace swinging and with the phases of that mace hitting my sons and breaking them, how that's going to happen. And Dhritarashtra worries about those things, remembering Bhima's strength, and he says that even Indra is not uh, able to face Bhima when he is angry. So whirling, swinging his mace, coming like a uh, elephant, crushing all the foes and enemies and everything. He comes, and without doubt, Sanjaya, I fear for this Bhima, and he killed Jarasandha in the battle, who nobody in the earth could defeat him. Such a Jarasandha was destroyed by Bhima, and he talks about all the other great things that Bhima has done, and he says that like a poisonous snake that's coming, uh, this Bhima comes and destroys us, and what can I do? So he worries about that. So Dhritarashtra says that even Indra and others cannot defeat him. Uh, it is very dangerous. How come? Which was this danger that has previously seen by Vidura? It seems that how can we overcome this one? And he says that Bhishma, Drona, Kripa, all these are very much uh, with my are aware of the Bhima's energy, but my son never listens to them. So he says, Dhritarashtra says that wisdom is capable of dispelling woe, but on the other hand, it is woe that dispels the wisdom. So currently, this pain, anxiety that she's having, destroying all the wisdom that whatever that they had. So Dhritarashtra then remembers Arjuna, and again he talks about Arjuna's greatness, the him holding Gandiva and shooting those winged arrows at the enemies. Those things he remembers, and there is he says that Drona, Karna, anybody that facing him cannot withstand Arjuna when he comes across. So Karna is both compassionate and heedless, and Dronacharya is aged, and he also is very affectionate of Arjuna. But Arjuna is young, and when he's firm in his that Gandiva in his hand, nobody can face up to him. Even Karna and this war, uh, when there would be no peace. Well, he says that there would be peace if either of these two, either Drona or Karna or Arjuna, uh, fall in the battle. Then only there will be peace. Until that time, there won't be, because these three are such a strong archers, and there is no one. And he talks about the Arjuna offering Kandava forest to Agni, gratifying him with Krishna's help at that time, and now Krishna himself is there as a charioteer, and there is no way we can face up to them. So Dhritarashtra here quotes that it's been 33 years since that Kandava forest has been burnt. So 33 years, or in that 33 years, 13 years Pandavas spent in forest and Ajnatavasa. So that means about 20 years has happened between that kind of forest and, let's say, them going to forest, right? So that's probably is the time Dhritarashtra spent, Yudhishthira spent in building his Indraprastha and things like that. So this gives some sort of time frame how far Yudhishthira becoming a king of Indraprastha and this war start and things like that. So here again, he talks about all the great things that Arjuna has achieved. Then he remembers all the other people that Sanjay has mentioned: Panchalas, Kekas, Matsyas, Magadas, and Krishna himself, Satyaki, Drishtadyumna, uh, and then Yudhishthira, Nakula, Sahadeva, and everybody. He also says that he is also worried about Yudhishthira. Uh, he is having great energy, highly blessed, possessed of Brahmana force, energy in him. He's intelligent, great wisdom, virtuous, and he has allies and counselors united with persons ready to battle, and brothers and father-in-law, all of them are charioteers and Maharathis. They all coming to support him, and he is capable with patience. He has patience and capable of giving his good counsels, compassionate, modest, and all these things. He's controlling his senses, and such a Yudhishthira, he has energy like a fire, and even uh, that fire, Kauravas will go and jump into that like a moth going into a fire. So Dhritarashtra says that I have behaved decidefully towards him, and now that flame is going to burn me and my children and my race, everything. And this whole Kuru's race will be destroyed if we wage war against those people. And that, but Yudhishthira is always impartial, and when he looks at this war, he will definitely say that this unjust war is happening just because of me. So Dhritarashtra realizes here that all the things that's happening, all the mistakes he has done, and he knows that it's going to be completely destroying his race. And also he says that Yudhishthira will blame him for this war if this war takes place. Sanjay says that it is, as you say, the destruction of all the Kshatriyas through Gandiva, Arjuna's Gandiva is definitely going to happen. And when Arjuna comes in that battle, there is nobody that can face up to him. And he says that the position that one occupies as a position of a father and a friend, if he is always watchful and good heart, should seek the welfare of his children. But one that injures cannot be called a father. So Sanjay here is telling Dhritarashtra that we cannot call you, the children should not call you as a father because you are not a well-wisher of your children. So if you are a well-wisher, stop this war. So hearing Sanjay says that hearing the defeat of Pandavas at the dice game, you laughed like a child, saying that this is one I have acquired and things like that. You, when the harsh words were spoken against Pandavas, you you were very pleased that your son has won the kingdom. And when this country of Kurus, including that place called Kurujangala, is your paternal kingdom, and the rest all that you currently won is won by Pandavas. It's won by Yudhishthira as part of Rajasuya, and that's not yours. So when those Pandavas come to battle, and they will burn everything, they will destroy everything that you have. So Arjuna is the best among the archers, and Gandiva is the best among all the bows. Krishna is the best among all the living things, and Sudarshana, Krishna's weapon, is the best among all the weapons, and the chariot that having ape as the banner is the best among everything. And so he says that when Bhima Arjuna come to that battle war, there is nothing that's going to stop them. So the one he's by his own evil deeds afflicted the sons of Pandu, who were all wedded to virtue and things, who would try to destroy Pandavas, and that person he now hates even now, and that sinful man, who is none other than your son, should be checked by all the means. So Duryodhana did all these things to Pandavas who are virtuous, and he should be stopped. So these anxiety, these lamentation, these crying, all these things, sorrow you have about putting destruction of your children is you are acting like a helpless person. All these are useless. You should check your son, stop him now, just like as Vidura said, stop him now, and that's the best thing for you. At that time, Duryodhana says that do not fear. He addresses his father and says that do not fear, do not grieve for us. We are quite able to defeat the battle all the enemies. When Parthas come together, so Parthas, so Pandavas altogether are called Parthas because they are son of Pritha. Pritha is Kunti's name. Okay, so they are called Parthas because of, sometimes it's only addressed as Arjuna, but generally all the Pandavas are also called as Parthas, Kunti's son. So when Duryodhana narrates, it tells here that when Pandavas been exiled in the woods and they came there, when Krishna came there with a vast army, with the Kekas, Drishtaketu, Drishtadyumna, all of them came to when Pandavas in the forest. If you remember, at the beginning of the one of Parva, all of them came there with the army ready to attack Hastinapura. But Yudhishthira stopped them, and Duryodhana at that time, Duryodhana remembers that and says that at that time, I remember Duryodhana was seated there, Yudhishthira was seated there with deer skin among all of them, and they all urged Yudhishthira to take back his kingdom. And hearing this, I addressed Bhishma, Drona, Kripacharya in fear. Duryodhana admits that he was very scared of all those people assembled there, Pandavas along with Krishna, Keka, Srishtaketu, Drishtadimna, Panchalas, and everybody. So he says that he went to Bhishma, Drona, Kripacharya, and everybody in fear, and I told them that Pandavas will not abide by the agreement. So that's agreement is that they have to live 12 years in the forest and 13th year in concealment. So they will not die. Vaseva is Krishna is desiring our extinction. So I think, with the exception of Vidura, all of you will be killed. So, but so Dhritarastra will not be included in this slaughter because that Yudhishthira is very virtuous, so he will not kill Dhritarashtra, but everybody else will be killed. So Janardana wishes to give that kingdom to Yudhishthira. That's what's going to happen. Tell me what should be done. Should we surrender or should we fight? So what should we do? If indeed we stand up against them, our defeat is certain, and our kings, all the kings of the earth are under Yudhishthira's command. The people, everybody is annoyed with us. All our friends are angry with us. All our kings on the earth are speaking ill of us, especially our friends and relatives. So all of them are doing that. There can be no fault in surrender. So if a weaker party is known to, it's good to for the peace, it's good to surrender. So he says that I told all this to Bhishma, Drona, Kripacharya that we should surrender to Pandavas now. And say, when this is all, remember, this is all just after Pandavas went to forest, right? So at that time itself, Duryodhana was very much worried about Pandavas and the people Pandavas have. And especially at that time, entire world was against him because all the people were annoyed with him. That he did all these things in his Kuru assembly, including Draupadi's disrobing of Draupadi and defeating Pandavas through dice game and all these things. And just before that, Yudhishthira was ruling the almost entire kingdom because he did Rajasuya, and all the kings on the earth were supporting him. So Duryodhana was at that time thinking that everybody is with Yudhishthira. I just cheated him. So everybody is against me as well because I cheated. Everybody knows that I cheated. So there is no way we are going to win. So it's better for us to surrender. So he goes and tells this to Bhishma, Drona, Kripacharya, and Ashwatthama and others. And at that time, Bhishma, Drona, Kripacharya, and Ashwatthama, they all tell him that don't worry, if the enemy comes and does a war against us, then we will face them. We will defeat them. And Bhishma is here along with us, who in a single chariot defeated all the car warriors, all the charioteers, all the kings in previously, and he is capable of doing that again. And Duryodhana continues and says that those Bhishma, Drona, Kripa, Ashwatthama, all of them are supported, said that they will defeat Pandavas at that time, including all the supporters of Pandavas. So, but now things have changed. So all the kings are now supporting me. There are many of them that supporting me. So 13 years ago, almost all the kings were supporting Yudhishthira. But now time has changed. They are supporting me. And even if Brahma himself comes with Indra or Brahma, they themselves come and try to defeat us, we have such a huge army, they can't defeat it. Yudhishthira now is worried. So he is worried, and that's why he's asking for only 5 villages. So he knows that he cannot defeat us. He has a smaller army. There is nothing where nobody is equal to me when I take mace gada in my hand. So that's why nobody can defeat me. Yudhishthira knows that all we have such a huge army now. So that's why he is asking only for 5 villages so that he feels like he won something. He got something back. And Duryodhana then talks about his own strength. He says that when I was learning carefully with Balarama, uh, the mace war, how to use gada, how to use apply mace in a war situation, in a fight. At that time, Balarama himself has told that there is nobody equal to me in uh, mace. So I am equal to Balarama himself in mace. So that's why there is, I will destroy Bhima when it comes to the war. So I always wish to see Bhima with Gada in his hand, and struck by me in that, I will see him falling on the ground and shattered, destroyed into pieces. So he says that uh, Bhima himself knows this truth, and also Arjuna, Krishna, they all know that there is nobody equal to me in use of mace. So he's Duryodhana again says that, so that's why do not worry about these things. And after I have killed Bhima, all the Kaur warriors, everybody will go and go against Arjuna. Bhishma, Drona, Kripa, Ashwatthama, Karna, Bhurishrava, Shalya, and the king of Prajyotisha, Jayadratha, all these will go against Arjuna, and all of them united together, they will, within a moment, they will send Arjuna to Yama's place. There is no need, uh, again, there is no reason why this united army, all the kings incapable of defeating Arjuna alone. So he again little bit forgets that just little while back, Arjuna alone single-handedly defeated all of them at the Virata battle. Okay, but Duryodhana here thinks that all of them together with all this army, they can go. And he reminds everybody that Bhishma has no death, and there is nobody that can kill Bhishma. And he's been, because his father has given him a boon that you die except when it is your own wish. And Drona also is not somebody who took birth in a woman's womb. He was born in a pot through Bharadwaja Rishi, and he knows all the weapons, divine weapons, and he is that guru, and also our guru. He is the for best among all the gurus. And he talks about Kripacharya as well. He says that Kripa is Rishi, took birth from Rishi Gautama in the clump of heath, and he is also not a woman born in a woman's womb. All of them are undefeatable. You cannot defeat Bhishma, Drona, Kripacharya. And similarly, this Ashwatthama, who is again knows taken birth from Drona, and he has knowledge of every weapon that Drona knows. So he also says that uh, they are all in my side, and whether Devatas themselves, Indra himself comes to the battle with Arjuna, they cannot defeat us. And then there is Karna also, is equal to Bhishma, Drona, and Kripacharya. And this is Parashurama himself has told that Karna is equal to him in battle, and Karna had 2 earrings uh, born with him, and he has given that to Indra, and instead Indra has given him a very great weapon, Shakti weapon, and that weapon is always with his Karna, and nobody, as long as he has that weapon, nothing can happen, and nobody can defeat Karna. And also he talks about some Saptakas who vowed that their life, that either we will kill Arjuna or we will die. So they have made that vow, and they are here in this war just to kill Arjuna, and that's the only aim they have come. So when Bhima will be killed by me and Arjuna will be killed by all of them, why all this worry? So Bhishma, Drona, Kripa, Ashwatthama, Karna, Somadatta, Balika, Shalya, all this Vinda, Anuvinda, along with my brothers Dushyasana, Durmukha, Dushyaza, Shritayu, Chitrasena, Purumitra, Vivitsangi, Sala, Bhurishrabas, Vikarna, all these are there. Why worry? I have 11 Akshonis of army. Pandavas have only 7 Akshoni. Brihaspati himself has said that we should go to war when uh, enemy's army is less, 1/3 less than what we have. So then only we should go to war. Here they have 7, we have 11. So from numbers point of view also, we are going to win. So Duryodhana talks about like this, saying that all these things are great, and we are definitely going to defeat Pandavas in this. And then he looks at Sanjaya and asks Sanjaya, saying that uh, after obtaining those 7 Akshayani uh, army, what is Yudhishthira with other kings were doing in the eve of war? And Sanjay says that Yudhishthira is very cheerful, and also Bhima, Arjuna, and Nakula Sahadeva, all of them are very cheerful. Arjuna yoked his chariot, the horses and everything, and then he took all his, prepared himself in the gear that's preparation for the war. And at that time, the chariot looked like a mass of clouds with lightning and everything. And after reflecting a while, he told me that, see, Sanjaya, this is the preliminary signs. This chariot itself is fully charged now, like it's going to throw fully charged like a fully charged cloud with lightnings. So this is ready. So at that time, Duryodhana says that you always applaud Pandavas, but tell me what sort of horses were tied to that Arjuna's chariot, and what sort of banner it is set up. And he says, Sanjay responds saying that Twashtri himself, with Indra's and Dhatri's help, created diverse types of diverse kinds and great beauty of for that Arjuna's chariot, displaying divine illusion. This flag staff that's there in Arjuna's is a celestial form. It can it can be large, it can be small. It's and at Bhima's request, Hanuman himself comes in his own image on that flag, and this covers and Yojana itself. That flag covers an Yojana itself in its size, and even the trees or whatever that comes in its way will not obstruct this. So just like Indra's, just like the rainbow comes in the uh, sky, just like this banner that's been there, you can never see where it starts and where it ends. It's such a huge banner, and 100 uh, divine horses are tied to this, given by Chitrasena, the Gandharva. And those horses' numbers will remain 100, even if some of them get killed, the new one will join that. So it will always remain 100. So if you probably remember in Adi Parva, when Arjuna defeated the Gandharva, at that time, the horses were given to Arjuna, and Arjuna said that I will take them when I'm in need of those horses, right? So those horses are tied to Arjuna's chariot. So we'll stop there.